Hello students, good morning. In this video lecture, we are going to learn new concept of income from salaries. So let us start. Allowances. Allowances means a sum of money paid regularly to a person to meet needs or expenses as a sum of money as allowances. So here the allowances is house rent allowances, that is section 10 subsection 13a rule 12. Special allowances under section 10 subsection 14 1 2, notified allowances to meet the personal expenses and other allowances which is fully taxable. House rent allowances section 10 subsection 13a rule 2a. It means the house rent allowances if an assessee paying rent or if the assessee not paying rent. If not paying rent, it means if employee received HRA. HRA, it means the house rent allowances but not paying rent, living in own house. So no exemption, entirely taxable. Here it means an assessee not paying any rent. It means an employee received foreign form of the house rent allowances but not paying any rent. He living his own house. So totally is exempted and entire amount is taxable. If the assessee or an employee if paying the rent. So all these the condition must be followed. Minimum of the following. First is the actual HRA. Actual HRA, it means the actual house rent allowances received. Second one is the rent paid. Rent paid 10% of his salary. And third is the 40% oblique 50% of salary. 40% means if the case of the normal place. Suppose a assessee is to be living or the stay at the normal place. So the HRA is considered as 40%, but 50% in the case of the metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai. If all the four places, that is metro cities, so considered as 50%, otherwise it is an 40%. And the salary is equals to basic plus DA. DA, it means the DNS allowances plus commission on परसेंटेज बेसिस ऑफ द टर्नओवर. इसमें से जो भी मिनिमम रहेगा वो क्या कंसिडर्ड होगा, उसका हाउस रेंट अलाउंसेस. First condition is the actual HRA, house rent allowances. Second is the 10% of salary. Salary को किस तरह से calculate किया जाएगा, that is basic plus DA plus commission or percentage of turnover. And the third one is the 40% or 50%. 40% is normal place and 50% is considered as the metro place. Whichever is less or whichever is the minimum of the following. Special allowances section 10 subsection 14 rule 2bb, it means which are exempted to the first extent of actual amount received. Second condition is the amount spent for the performance of the duties, whichever is less. It means the actual amount. And the second one is the spent for the performance of duties, whichever is less. Fine. It is considered as the special allowances. Is covered under the section 10 subsection 14 rule 2bb. These are the examples of the partially exempted allowances, that is traveling allowances, daily allowances, convenience allowances, helper allowances, academic allowances and uniform allowances. All these are the allowances are partially exempted and partially it would be a taxable. Allowances to meet the personal expenses, that is notified expenses. So amount received, notified limit, whichever is less. All these are the allowances to meet the personal expenses which are to be notified. So amount received and notified limit, whichever is less, is to be considered. Children education allowances for 2 children and ₹100 per month. All these are the allowances related to the children education up to the 2 children and per month is ₹100. If the hostel allowance is same up to 2 children, but amount is 300 per month per child. Cleared? हॉस्टल अलाउंसेस के लिए भी सेम ही लिमिट है, सेम ही है, 2 चिल्ड्रन, मैक्सिमम 2 चिल्ड्रन, बट द अमाउंट इज 300 पर मंथ per child. These are the fully taxable allowances. First one is the DNS allowances, city compensation allowances, entertainment allowances, overtime allowances, tiffin lunch allowances, cash allowances, project allowances, servant or helper allowances, medical allowances, warden allowances, not practicing allowances, family allowances and holiday allowances. All these are the fully taxable allowances. In a salary, bifurcate as an allowances and perquisites. Perquisites means the benefit. Some perquisites in the form of the monetary perquisites and some is the non-monetary perquisites. Allowances, it means that they are the fixed or a flat amount given to the employee. Examples like transport allowances, lunch allowances, and the perquisites in a monetary perquisites, they are in nature of reimbursement of claim. Non-monetary perquisite, it means that they are in form of free facility or benefit. Like an example of monetary perquisite, like a reimbursement of taxi bill, reimbursement of restaurant bills. Clear? So it's considered as monetary perquisites. And non-monetary perquisite examples like free cab or bus for employees or free canteen for employees. Other perquisites same in the form of the non-monetary perquisites and monetary perquisites. Non-monetary perquisites, it means a free domestic servant at employees' home like a gardener, sweepers, watchmen. Second is the free gas, electricity, water at employees' homes. Third one is the free educational facilities for children, employees' children less than 1,000. Fourth one is the use of motor car. Fifth one is the private journey provided free of cost or concessional rate of employee family of transport employees. Taxable only for the specified employees, right? All these are form of the non-monetary perquisites. Cleared, which are not form in and cash. They all are facilities given like and kind. So all these are the facilities like an free domestic servant or free gas, electricity, water, educational facilities, use of motor car, private journey provided free of cost or concessional rate, but is taxable only for a specified employees, right? And here monetary perquisite, it means a perquisite which are formed in a cash. So reimbursement of salary of servant, reimbursement of gas, water, electricity bill, reimbursement of school fees, reimbursement of motor car expenses, and the reimbursement of private travel bill of transport employees, taxable for all the employees. Non-monetary, it means not in cash, and the monetary perquisite, it means the like in cash or the reimbursement of all the perquisites. Valuation of perquisite here exempted for all the employees. Some employees have exempted, some taxable for employee or some taxable for only a specified employees. Exempted for all the employees like newspapers, magazines, telephones, mobile expenses, etc. Facility and residence of employees tax free. Reimbursement is also exempted. And the next one is the tax paid by the employer on non-monetary benefits provided to employers tax free for employers. Section 10, subsection 10 CC. And the third one is the facility of health club, sports club, uniform provided to all the employee shall be exempted. So all these are the exempted for all the employees. Tax treatment of retirement benefits. All these are the benefits. Pensions, gratuities, leave encashments and provident fund. Pension means it is a periodically payment. made by the employer to his employee after his retirement. This is a taxable under the head salaries, and pension can be divided into two groups. First is the uncommuted pension and another one is the commuted pension. Uncommuted pension means the periodically payment which is taxable under section 15 in case of all the employees on the basis of due basis under the head of income salaries. And commuted pension means is receipt of any lump sum amount in the lieu of periodically pensions. Okay. Taxability of pension. Pension, there is in two types. First one is the commuted pension, another one is the uncommuted pension. Uncommuted pension is fully taxable, right? Here it is in fully taxable for all the employees under the head of income from salaries. Commuted pension is the if the employee of central government or state government or the government judges of High Court or the Supreme Court, all the employees, whether it is in central, state, government judges of High Court and Supreme Court, exempted under section 10(10)(a) subsection 1. Other employees, if the employee is received gratuity or if the employee is not received gratuity. So here if the employee is received gratuity, so exemption is 1/3 of amount received upon commission %. If the employee is not received under gratuity, so half of commuted pensions upon amount received upon commuted %. Clear? Here the exemption under section 10(10)(a) to subsection A. Here if the amount is not received gratuity, so exempted under section 10(a) subsection 2 subsection B. Gratuity. Next one is in gratuity. Gratuity is the monetary amount which is payable to employee of an organization under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. This is the mainly paid to the employees or as a token of appreciation for his oblique service towards the company. It means the gratuity is a benefit received by an employee for service rendered to an organization for companies covered under the Gratuity Act, that is 1972. This benefit is paid when an employee gets gratuity when he or she resigns, retires or is laid off. Gratuity received at a time of the death, retirement. So gratuity received during service is fully taxable. अगर ग्रेचुटी हमको ड्यूरिंग द सर्विसेज पे मिलता है वो क्या कंसिडर्ड होगा? फुल्ली टैक्सेबल. इफ द एम्प्लॉय ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, state government, members of civil service or the local authority, so fully exempted under section 10(10) subsection 1. Fine. जो एम्प्लॉय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हो, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हो या सिविल सर्विस, लोकल ऑफ अथॉरिटी, ऑल आर द एम्प्लॉयज आर एक्सेम्प्टेड. अदर एम्प्लॉयज के लिए इफ कवर्ड अंडर द ग्रेचुटी एक्ट 1972, इफ द पर्सन्स कवर्ड आते हैं इसमें ग्रेचुटी एक्ट 1972, so here least of would be exempted, that is under section 10 subsection 2, rupees 20 lakhs, that is actually gratuity received, 15 days salary for years completed year of service or part in the excess of 6 months. Number of days in a month to be taken as 26. Fine. If the persons or employee not covered under the Payment Gratuity Act 1972, so least of the following. Here the same amount is 20 lakhs, but under the section 10(10) subsection 3, so actual gratuity received, half month salary based on average 10 month salaries. Number of days to be taken is the 30 days. Here the Gratuity Act 1972 days कितना लिया जाता है? 26. But here the days are to be taken as the 30s. Fine. So all these are the rules of a gratuities.
So the next is the leave encashment. Leave encashment means leave encashment refers to an amount of money received in exchange for a period of leave not availed by an employee. Here it means an employees का जो leave बच जाता है, जो वो availed नहीं करते, मतलब जो वो नहीं लेते हैं at the time of an service. Encashment of accumulated leave can be availed by an employee at the time of retirement or during the continuation of service or at the timing of leaving the job. तो वो अपनी leave है वो retirement के time और the continuation of services और at the time of leaving the job में वो अपना leave encashment करा सकती हैं. Fine. Leave encashment received on retirement if the government employee or other employee. If the government employee, so it is an fully exempted, clear, and other employee, least of the following will exempted under section 10, 10AA under subsection 2. So here are the three conditions, which is the least condition is exempted. So the amount is 3 lakhs. First condition, that is an 3 lakhs or the leave salary actually received or 10 month salaries on the basis of average 20 month preceding of retirements. Clear? इनमें से जो सबसे least होगा वो क्या होगा? Exempted. Here it is a note that cash equivalent of unavailed leave based on 10 month average salary to his credit at the time of the retirement. And earn leave entitled not exceed the 30 days for every year of actual services. Clear? जब हम ये problems practically solve करेंगे तो बहुत easily लगेगा, but all these are the conditions. That is a leave encashment. If the government employee is fully exempted, but other employees least of the following. So the maximum or the standard deduction, that is 3 lakhs or the actual receipt or the 10 months average salaries on the basis of average 20 months, which is an preceding retirements amount. So here cash equivalent to unavailed leave, that is based on the 10 month average salary to his credit at the time of an retirement. So इनमें से जो least होगा वो क्या होगा? Exempted. So the next one is the provident fund. Provident fund means it is another name for a pension fund. Its purpose is to provide the employees with lump sum payable at the time of exit from their place of employment. So all these are the elements of an provident fund. That is recognized provident fund means RPF, unrecognized provident fund UPF. Next one is the statutory provident fund, that is SPF, and the public provident fund PPF. All these are the elements of an provident fund. Tax treatment during the employment period, that is recognized provident fund, unrecognized provident fund, statutory provident fund, and public provident fund. Here it means an employer contributions. अगर वो employer contribution कर रहा है, so more than 12% taxable. अगर वो less than 12% है तो वो exempt होगा. But if the more than 12%, so here RPF में वो क्या considered होगा? Taxable. और unrecognized provident fund में not taxable yearly. And statutory provident fund में it is an fully exempted. And PPF में it's an not applicable. Fine. Not taxable and not applicable. Next one is the employee's contribution. So here the employee recognized provident fund में is eligible for deduction under section 80C. वहाँ पे उसको deduction के लिए वो eligible है. UPF में it means the unrecognized provident fund not eligible for deduction. Here वहाँ पे उसको कुछ भी 80C का deduction वो eligible नहीं है. Same way statutory provident fund eligible for deduction under section 80C. Same eligible for deduction under section 80C. So UPF में it means unrecognized provident fund में वो eligible नहीं है, and all the three, that is recognized हो, statutory हो या public provident fund हो, deductions claim वो ले सकते हैं. Next one is the interest credited. If the more than 9.5%, then it is an taxable. If less than 9.5%, that is exempted. But if the interest more than 9.5%, so hence it isn't taxable. UPF में not taxable yearly. Same statutory provident fund fully exempted. यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा? Fully exempted. Fine. So RPF में क्या होगा? If the more than 9.5%, it is an taxable, and the rest 3 is fully exempted. Clear? So these are the chart regarding the tax treatment during the employment provident fund. Fine. So the section 16 interhead deductions. Under the income from salaries, there are the some deductions as per the section number 16. So here are the 3 deduction are there. Section 16 subsection 1. Standard deduction 40,000 or 50,000. Prior to 2019-20 deduction amount कितना था? 40,000. But here the assessment year, that is 2021. Now the deduction amount is 50,000. Fine. Standard deduction, the lump sum amount is 50,000 under section 16 subsection 1. Section 16 subsection 2, it is an entertainment allowances which is received by a government employee. That is the 3 condition, whichever is lower. First one is the 5,000, that is a standard amount given, 5,000 or 1/5 of basic salary or actual entertainment allowances received. Here जो 5th उसका basic salary का 1/5 निकालेंगे और जो उसको एक्चुअली रिसीव हुआ है या 5,000, इसमें से जो भी लोअर अमाउंट रहेगा वो क्या रहेगा? एक्सेम्प्टेड. एंड द थर्ड वन इज द section 16 subsection 3, that is an professional tax paid by employer or employees. Fine. All these are the interhead deduction of income from salaries. That is first section 16(1) standard deduction, which amount is 50,000 now. Section number 16 subsection 2 entertainment allowances. That the 3 conditions are there: 5,000, 1/5 of basic salary or actually received, whichever is lower. And the third one section is 16 subsection 3, that is profession tax paid by the employer or employees. Clear?